Foxes, how the devil are you today? How's your weekend been so far? Well, we know how bad it's been. You know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the famous Foxes Aftermath show. Run, yes, by the fans for you fans. And your opinion does really matter. So come on, get them comments in. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Morning all, morning Mark, morning Nigel, morning Neil, morning Nick. Just before we get going, I'm just going to have a few words of wisdom to you before we start. Yes, we have won 4 out of the first 5 games, which is great. The way some fans are talking on social media, I think we've won the first 4 or 5 4-5-0 quite easily, playing free-flowing football like Man City have done. But the results have clouded people's performances completely. We could have lost all 4. Just bear in mind, we could have lost all 4 of them games. Them results have clouded the people's judgments. Really have. On that note, I'm going to bring my mate in, who has been accused of being negative, but actually, I think he's been talking a lot of sense just recently, which makes a change for Reedy to talk sense.
Hello.
How are you, pal? Are you good?
I'm good. As much as I am still disappointed that we lost yesterday, I said in my video yesterday that it kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to the fact that, I'll be totally honest, it hasn't been as great as people think it has. But like you say, because it's clouded people's judgment on performances. I say no. No one's going to be wrong and say that we are all happy that we have won for like 6 out of 6. We all are happy about it, and we've said that we might not play well, but as long as we win, it's fine. But like you say, we have. I feel like we have struggled in games, and we could have lost nearly every single one of them in certain moments of the game. Like you say, Cardiff had a clear chance in front of goal, completely scuffed it up.
Coventry
did again, yeah, and we have scored late to kind of clinch all 3 points, and then people are just like, we won the game. It doesn't matter how we played.
Yeah, let's bring Locks has just joined us. So while he's either putting his bacon sarnie down or his fag or whatever he's got, or he's gin and tonic, I'm not sure what he's drinking this time of the morning. Locks, we were talking last night in our chat group about creativity and 21 shots and stuff like that. And a lot of people have mentioned it this morning, but there was only 2 on target. Most of them shots would have been perfect down Welford Road, to be honest. They were high and handsome. What's going on, pal? What do you think?
Well, look, I think, as Reedy mentioned now, which is a fair comment about in the other games where the other teams could have won because their finishing wasn't good enough, right? They in all the other games, the other team have had chances where they should have scored and they didn't. But that's what happened to us yesterday. We had some chances where we didn't score, where we should have. Like the Cassidy one, he should have scored there. So we can't just then say, well, the other teams could have won those other games because they missed their chances. But it was the same for us yesterday. We also could have won if we took our chances. 21 shots, 2 on target is disgraceful, to be honest with you. You know, whether it's just as simple as shooting practice, you know, in training, a bit more shooting practice, I don't know. But, you know, you've brought in a striker, obviously in Tom Cannon.
Pies them in.
Well, I was going to say, if the strikers that you've got on the pitch at the minute aren't scoring, then you need to bring another one in to try and do the business. And Reedy, you might think I'm, this isn't like me to say this, but it's the same with Daka. If the strikers, I'm not a big fan of Daka, but if the other strikers aren't scoring, you have to give Daka a chance at some point.
You say that as well, but the thing with me and the thing with Enzo is he said that he's not scared of dropping players.
Yeah.
All because Vardy's a big name now, and Kelechi has that star that we need in him for this Enzo system. I'd say I'd rather be playing someone else who could be scoring goals. If we're failing to score a goal, all of our goal scorers at the moment have been midfielders and wingers.
Yeah, there's only been in the cup games where they've been strikers. Other than that, we haven't scored a league goal by a striker. They've all been midfield players, which after 5 games, I think is...
And that's why I think we have been struggling creativity-wise, because it feels like we've been forcing the ball in the net by having long shots, like most of our goals have been at home anyway.
Like I've been saying for years, I think you lads both know I've said this, you've got to make the keeper work so you get rebounds. Look at Brighton's first goal last night. I know Pope made a mistake, but they had 2 shots, both rebounds, both second attempt. They were there. They had the shots and they were on target and they got rebounds. We don't do that. We just lean back and hit it high and handsome. You need to make the keeper work. And I honestly, the 2 shots on target, one was Dewsbury Hall's scuff, and I can't remember who the other one was, to be honest.
I think they're both Dewsbury Hall, weren't they?
Well, they're both Dewsbury Hall. We're just not making enough keeper work, are we, Locks, really?
No, I know what you mean. I think in general, like yesterday we really struggled with winning the second ball. Like we'd try and throw a tackle in, and if it ended up, getting out somewhere, then we struggled to get it. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. I think it's clear that Maresca does want us to test the keeper from outside the box, and stuff like that, because we've seen it so much. Dewsbury Hall must take about 3 or 4 long shots every game. He must do. I see it all the time, and very rarely is it on target. Go on, Jamie.
Mark, I just want to reply to Mark Watson's comment. Sorry, Mark, you're not allowed to say Plan B. Leicester Fan TV got absolutely lambasted last night for asking that question about where Plan B was. Absolutely lambasted. So, Mark, you're not allowed to ask that. Us fans are not allowed to ask that. Social media is there for opinions, and that's one of our opinions. There is no Plan B. There has been no Plan B for 2 or 3 years. Even when Pure was here, there was no Plan B there. Rodgers, there was definitely no Plan B there. There is no plan. It's a very similar kind of football. So, Mark, asking that question, you're not allowed because it's not part of the blue tinted brigade, I'm afraid. So we can't answer that one very much. Sorry, I just had to get off because we got absolutely lambasted last night.
I will mention before we do bring anyone else in that I think me and Locks both agreed that the biggest issue yesterday was the fact that we didn't have the best lineup at the beginning. It wasn't the greatest lineup. Don't get me wrong, we wanted to see Atkin, see how he played. And McAteer, I guess he deserved to start. We got both on the wrong wing.
I should disagree with you on that one. I thought Atgun, or however you pronounce it, had a few good touches and played reasonably well. His touching.
I felt like when the ball got to him, I think it stopped. I think we didn't move any further with it. And I think when we made all the 3 subs, I think that's what we do need to start with. With Ian Atchell up front, Fatawu on the right, and Mabadidi on the left. I just feel like it's our best attacking threat from what we saw since the 52nd minute.
I just think it unsettled the side a bit. I do. That's what I think. I think we didn't look. Look, we haven't looked super fluid going forward anyway, but I just think it looked a bit sluggish going forwards, more so than the other game. I don't know. I just feel like the lineup kind of unsettled things a little bit with McAteer suddenly out on the left. I know he did well, obviously, a couple of times in the first half, going at the right back. Coyle, I think his name was. But I didn't really understand it. I think Cassidy, I don't know what he has to do to start. I know he's not lit the team on fire, but he's been better than what Ndidi has, unless he's just done it because of the goal and assist. I think Ndidi got on Tuesday,
and I think that's where Ndidi and McAteer have kind of been given a free hit in the team yesterday, if I'm totally honest.
But
Goals or goal and assists has basically been like, you deserve a start.
Just last comment.
I'm just going to bring Nick in while you carry on, Locks.
I was just going to say, I was just going to say, I think Dewsbury Hall's the next one to be dropped because he's been awful the last 3 or 4 games. He's been shocking, mate.
Nick, that's how easy it is to just click that link and join. I did ask other people to join, and they said, no thanks, not really interested. They just wanted to hide behind a keyboard and just keep, not trolling me, but tweeting stupid stuff. Anyway, Nick, what do you agree with what Locks has said about Ndidi and the team selection? Even Reedy, do you agree with Reedy for once?
I do think everybody's kind of blowing it out of proportion a little bit. Personally, we could have won that game yesterday. We hit the post. There was Vardy should have scored. Mavrovidi should have scored. You know, there was opportunities there where on another day they probably would have put them away. I don't think the refereeing helped yesterday. He was shockingly bad.
But Nick, you can't blame the referee for not.
I'm not blaming Jamie. I'm not blaming the ref. I'm not blaming the referee. I'm just saying how rubbish he was.
Yeah, he was awful.
You know, you've got to also. We've brought in how many players did we bring in the window? 7, 8.
It was 8 now, maybe even 9 now. Yeah.
Let them all work together. I mean, let them see. Give it a couple of weeks. Let them work out how they like to play. I mean, Fatsu, he only signed at the beginning of last week. You know, we've got this international break coming on. Let's see what we can do with what we've got. Yeah. We're not going to go unbeaten a whole season, for God's sake. This is the Championship. And fair play to Hull. They play the similar sort of style as what we're trying to implement, you know, and they're further down the line. Just give it some time.
But
I think once it all clicks...
They look more organised, though, Nick.
Yes, but Jamie, they've been doing it a lot longer than we have. So they know what their roles are. They know what to expect and what, you know, they've got counter-actions for everything because they've been doing it longer. Just give the Enzo some time to do it.
Oh, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I totally agree with the time bit, Nick. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of the fans are thinking, them 4 games we played, we've won 4 or 5-0 with absolutely fantastic performances, and we're going to romp away with the league. We haven't.
Yeah, but Jamie, these are the same fans that still think we're in the Premiership and still live in a FIFA world, for God's sake. You know, the ones that are calling for Daka to start. You know, you got all the Zambians, for God's sake. Start Daka. He's good enough for Chelsea. He's Barca.
I've not said start him, but like Locke says, I prefer someone else to come in who actually will score up front if we haven't got.
Anybody seen the report where it says if we play in one more game, we've got to give 5 million to Salzburg because of the appearance?
Or not? I don't know. Wasn't it?
Jamie, this is Rudkin we're talking about. You know it's true. He couldn't organise a party in a brewery, for God's sake.
But it just seems like at the minute, though, Nick, that it's the same kind of thing that's happening. That we're saying, oh, it's okay, keep playing like this, we'll be fine. It's the same as the Madison tweets. We'll keep playing like this, we won't be fine.
I honestly, I think the time will come soon before faster than what we think it will, and we'll paste somebody 3 or 4-0. It will come, but
I agree. I do get and I do agree that we have to give Enzo time. I just, in my eyes, like I say, I think the performances have been clouded by wins, by scoring late on, and kind of been saying, I don't care how we've won, and I just look at the performance and think we haven't been great, and I get that we have to wait for that to be better, but we are going to have these sort of games where we haven't been good enough to score. Yes, we could have won yesterday, but we didn't, and I think we will get a few more results like that this season.
I mean, to break them down. We were too slow all over the pitch. We really were.
Sorry, Reedy, you're right. We will have results like that this season because it's football. So teams will come and do a smash and grab on you. It happens to. I'm not comparing us to them, but I'm just saying in terms of the similar scenario. It happens to Man City. It happens to whoever else. Liverpool. You know, Liverpool when they were winning the league, teams come and do a smash and grab, and they do one up on you, and it happens. It's whether or not the system that Enzo's implementing and the players he's brought in are good enough to win you enough games over a season to take you up. And I think we will. I think we will win enough games over the season to go up.
But this is
at the end of the season. At the end of the season, if we go up, we won't look back on 2, 3, 4 results and go, "Well, I really wish we beat Hull."
This is where in these games, sorry, Jane, but this is where in these games, like yesterday, you do have to switch it up a bit to see if you got any chance in winning the game anyway.
It won't happen. It won't happen. It's not the system. It's not the style of. We won't. It just won't.
Then, lads, ask this question: would you rather take a whole season of playing shit and winning games, or putting performances in? What would you want to see? Would you want a whole season of playing badly and winning, and then going into the Premiership next year and not being one of the better, not being a decent team going up? What is that? What you want? Is that what you, or would you want your team?
Jamie, to be fair, mate.
Nick, no, at the minute we're not playing well. Yes, we've had games, 7 games.
Right, I'm going to throw something at you now then for that response. Burnley romped the Championship last season, playing so-called pretty football, this, that, and the other. They've been absolutely awful this season. Maybe sometimes you need to play. Maybe sometimes you need to play ugly and win ugly. At the end of the day, I ain't bothered. I ain't bothered if we play tiki-taka, counter-attack, long ball. I ain't fussed. All I want to see is 11 players put some effort on the pitch and actually care about the club they're playing for.
And they are. They are this season, I think.
Exactly.
So the ultimate goal is then going up no matter what. How you want to go up, that's the ultimate goal. So you'd be happy with playing this style of football all season long and still go up?
Yeah, because, I wanted Scott Parker originally before talks of Maresca. And Scott Parker, the Fulham fans, the Bournemouth fans, they all said, you might go up, but it's not going to be pretty. And I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I want to get back to the Premier League and then see what happens. And this football we're playing now is much better than Scott Parker football. Let me tell you that. So I'm happy with it. Jamie, when you say not playing well but still go up, I don't know if you're referring to just the performance or if you're referring to the style of football.
Well, don't get me wrong. I think the style at times, I do love it. I do like how we play. But when it doesn't work, I think for me that's where you do have to switch it up. Even the tiniest bit. My point, instead of bringing Iheanacho off for Vardy, put them both up together. I know it doesn't probably run with the style that Enzo wants, but even putting an extra man up front and trying to get that extra man in the box, it just changes and hopefully gives you something, an extra goal to get a point or a win. And I think that's what we struggled with yesterday. We went 1-0 down, yes, unfortunately to a deflection goal, but once that happened, we just couldn't break them down.
So you're saying deflection goal. I had no end of people watching the game in the bar, and not one of them could see a deflection on the shot.
Oh, I saw a definite deflection.
Not one of us could see that on any of the replays. There must have been 15, 20 people watching that game, and not one person could see it.
Yeah, there was definitely a deflection in there.
When
it left his foot, it looked like it was going to go straight into the keeper's hands, to be fair. And this is what I'm referring to, Jamie. This is what I'm saying. Like, people keep saying in the previous games, people kept saying, well, Leicester were lucky to win. The other team could have won it. But if that's just how football is, we could have won yesterday. You know, that there was a deflection on their goal. We hit the post. We had 21 shots. If we were more clinical, we would have won the game. That's just a fact. If we put more more on target than we did, one of them would have gone in, and we would have scored 1 or 2 goals. So I don't think there's any need to panic or worry just yet. I think we are still a team gelling together, improving, and we've won 6, right? Or 5 league games. 5 league games. We've won 4 league games. Yeah, we've won 4 out of 5 league games, and we're not anywhere near the best. I don't think we can actually judge how good this team is and how good this system is until probably early November, because that's when there's enough time, when we've had enough time. But remember Burnley, what you said then, Nick, Burnley romped the league, yeah? They had 3 points from their first 6 games.
The first 10 games, they were awful. And then all
No,
of a sudden, something clicked for them, and then that's it. They literally just romped the league.
We know we know how the championship is, and like I say, you can.
Look at
you
Southampton
can be bottom off.
yesterday.
Forest were bottom half of the table when they were before they got
Exactly.
promoted, and they got into playoffs. So don't get me wrong, but
Middlesbrough,
all I'm going to mention is we've got in the next 5 games, we've got 4 probably the toughest that we've seen yet. Southampton,
Yeah, but
Norwich.
Southampton got spanked by Sunderland 5-0 yesterday.
Well, yeah, but that is
And they looked woeful. They looked woeful. Southampton did yesterday because I actually watched it. They looked awful.
In a second. Let's just bring Sean in for a minute or two. Morning, Sean. How are you? Sean?
Yeah.
How are you, pal? You all right?
I'm not too bad.
Good. Well, what did you think yesterday then, mate?
I think it was and that, but it was open goals, and they should score, but I thought it was.
You think we should have won yesterday, Sean?
Yeah. Because they are like they are they did good, but we didn't make it we didn't made that massive enough.
No, we didn't, Sean, did we? We didn't, pal. So next week, go on, Sean.
What's that?
So next week, or the week after next, we've got Southampton away. Do you think we're going to get a boosting win, a morale boosting win?
Oh, yes.
You think we're going to get a morale boosting win, do you? We're going to go down to St Mary's and beat them 9-0 again, do you think?
Yeah. And I won't be home because but I am going to watch it in Spain.
Are you going to watch it in Spain here? You come to see me, are you?
There.
All right then, Sean, I'll let you go, pal, and we'll speak to you soon, mate.
Yeah.
See you later, pal. Be good. There's Sean with his views. People are saying about KDH. You mentioned it earlier, Locks, didn't you?
Yeah, man. I
mean, he's not going to get dropped, is he?
I mean, to be fair to him, he's been poor since Cov. He turned the game on its head at Coventry, but let's be fair, I love KDH, I really do, local lad and everything. But for me, especially yesterday, he's trying to do a lot like what Maddison used to do.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's just me, but
he's trying to be impactful on the game.
I just feel like there's a change. You just look. I don't want to say something that I'm not 100% sure on, I suppose, but like he just seems to have had a change in mentality. So I just think with Maddison going, he now, and technically he is obviously the main man. You know what I mean? I think it's probably affecting his performances a little bit. I think Kyle says it perfectly there. KDH needs a reality check. I think he probably thinks he's the main man now. If he needs drop in just to give him that reality check, do it. I know Ndidi hasn't been great, but even if he needs playing Ndidi and Casadei together in those roles, I think you have to do it, to be fair. Or McAteer. But I want to see Iheanacho in that role. I want to see Iheanacho drop back. I want to see Iheanacho drop back and go into that role.
He already does it enough already, doesn't he?
Exactly.
He plays in that position.
Yeah, exactly. That because we're losing the striker because obviously Iheanacho drops back so much, right? So put Vardy or Cannon up there, let Iheanacho just sit in that, where Dewsbury Hall normally sits. And, there's no, and that's not changing up the system. Then that's keeping the system exactly the same, but you're just making a couple personnel changes.
Maybe that's the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. I mean, Cannon signed on deadline day. He was never going to really feature yesterday, was it?
No.
Maybe that is the plan. Nacho drops down into that sort of 10 role, and then you have Cannon up top leading the line. And his stats the second half of the season at Preston are pretty decent. 20 appearances, 8 goals, 5 assists. That's not bad going. Knows the division.
Well,
what do you think, Jamie?
Just got to hope he comes in. I keep saying he's got to come in all guns firing straight away. He's got to play him, hasn't he? If he's brought a striker in, he's got to play him. And I'd love it, but I can't see it work. Like you say, Nacho. Then we've got 2 strikers on the field. We were 1-0 down yesterday, and he should have kept Vardy on. He should have kept Nacho with Vardy yesterday. Just something different. We're losing the game. Something different. Change the style of play. Hull had battled hard. They literally parked the bus that second half. And it was all Leicester going forward. We needed something else to break them down. And having 2 strikers to worry about, too many teams nowadays play with 1 striker. And having 2 strikers up there, I think would have made a huge difference.
I think Nacho called to come off yesterday. I think he had cramp or something.
Yeah, I saw at some point he was basically looking over. I think it was when the corner happened, and he was kind of looking at it, and he was like, "I can't be on here."
I hope because he's not used to playing so much. That's why.
Yeah, I hope it was cramp. I do hope it was cramp because he kind of like just started.
But he's got 2 weeks, isn't he? They've got 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got Cody coming back soon as well, which is a good sign. There's reasons to be positive. And let's be fair, we're still not out the top 2. That's one thing to look at.
I agree with you. No, we're 3rd actually. Anyway.
We are 3rd, yeah.
Ipswich won. Now? Okay.
Ipswich won to they pushed us up
on the same points as 2nd.
We'll be all right.
There is positive to come out of that yesterday. It wasn't all negatives.
Fatawu, mate.
Fatawu, he looked really good.
He does.
There is positives, but it's just the performances. It's now into game 7. It's just for me. You say you haven't had time. You've had 6 weeks pre-season training. You've got 7 games now. The style should be implemented in them, and at least getting somewhere near our best. Even though he says Enzo said about it was only 10 to 20% a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
we should still be seeing signs of it more regular than what we are seeing it than just bits and bobs.
It will. Honestly, I think it will come, guys. I mean, you just said about the pre-season, Jamie. I mean, pre-season was a farce to begin with, anyway. That was all put in with the last regime that was in. I think under the circumstances, he's had a hell of a lot to do over this summer, and I think he's done all right under the circumstances.
Yeah, he's got he's got rid of a lot of the dead wood, and we're playing, and we've got the players in. We needed to rebuild and refresh. He has had a lot to do, Nick. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I really do.
I think one of the other issues yesterday was, as much as we say we did put someone like Atgun into the straight lineup straight away, and having McAtee on the wrong side, I felt like with that and how the team was playing, we lost 50 minutes of the game, just not really creating much. And then when all these players did come on, that's when we did start looking like we were going to score, I guess, in a way. And I think that's where we probably do need to start with them players in the team, because I feel like we have been a bit of a struggle with Ndidi in the side, because he's not actually that attacking-minded player. I think, like I say, McAtee on the wrong side was just the wrong move from the start, because he's been playing well on the right. And then, like I say, Atgun, it looked like he only has a left foot. So why is he playing on the right?
Well,
cut in a bit like Barnes, I think.
I know, but if you can only cut in, then realistically, surely you would want to be on the left.
But just keep telling yourself, guys, like you say, the players that come in and the ones that come on the pitch that change the game, like Fatsu, for example. What's not to say they're not going to be involved from minute 1 against Southampton. They've only been in the club a couple of days, not even a week, some of them. I think Southampton will see some changes, and I think, that's when we can start saying, you know what, good changes were made. We brought Cannon into the fold, we brought Fatsu in from the beginning and stuff, I think we'll be fine. I really do. It's just going to take time. But let's be fair, we've not got the most patient fan base.
I'm not expecting miracles. I know miracles are not going to happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. I've got loads in there I can come out with, one-liners. But it was just the performances are not as what we expected. I don't think the performances are what we thought would happen. But this group of players, apart from 2 or 3 of them, have been together for quite a while now.
If I'm being truthful, Jamie, we're going exactly where I thought we'd go anyway. Because at the beginning of when we got relegated, I honestly thought
bad performances.
No, performance-wise, yeah, I did. Because let's be fair, last season I was doom and gloom magnet. I thought we might get relegated again because the club was in such disarray the way it was. And the old chestnut of good teams win regardless of how they play. I think we're doing all right under the circumstances. We're doing much better than what I thought we would. Yes, okay, it's not pretty, beautiful football, but we've got the points on the board so far, and that breeds a mentality where you say, do you know what, we're going to go out and we're going to keep on going. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
This comment by Kyle, most of the signings have been in more than a week.
Been here less than a week.
Been here less than a week.
Been there less than a week, sorry. That's wrong, because there's only the one that's at Cannon and Fatu, how you pronounce it.
Fatu, yeah.
Good. When he signed it, Tranmere, wasn't it? It's not been a week.
But it's still, I mean, like I say, I'm not expecting. Get myself all confused there now.
No, we don't expect. Like I said, we don't expect Fatu to be coming into the team today from the beginning and smashing it.
That's them 9 signings. 6 of them have been here for a while, and you've got the players already here.
But they've not all played together in the same lineup, so they have to get used to each other.
But what are they doing in training? What's been implemented in training?
Yeah, but it's different, isn't it?
By now, we should be seeing more. By now, we should be seeing more of what we expect to see. Surely.
I don't think so. I honestly don't. I think 5 games is just too soon to just expect to see everyone gelling together. I think even though they've been at the club for so long, how many times have Fass and Vestergaard started together before this season? How many times you know what I mean? So obviously Hermanson, because he joins that back line when we're in possession, right? That's something new. So I just think I know what you're saying in terms of there doesn't have seemed to have been a massive improvement from game week 1 to yesterday, right? Which because there hasn't been a massive improvement, but it will just come over time. Like I said, they're still gelling together. Look at Forest last season. Obviously, all the players that came in, a lot of people expected them to go down. They did nearly go down, but they got enough results because over time you gel together, you pick up results here and there, and it's just about gelling together. I like Nick said as soon as he came on the show, it's just about that and learning how each other play, building relationships on the pitch, looking for runners. It all comes over time completely, and I think 5 games. I think more people are judging it now because we've won the first 5. I think people thought won the first 4 games. People are like, well, we've won 4, so we must already have it clicked. But it's not going to happen like that. We'll probably, even if we lost to Southampton, if we lose to Southampton, people are going to go even crazier. I just think it's a big overreaction. I think we need to wait. Let us keep working on it, and like I said, by October, November, I think we'll have it clicked, and I think we're going to go up, and I think we're going to win the league.
You would hope that, wouldn't you? That's
yes,
the thing.
You would.
You would hope that, but I'm just looking at the table now, and you'd say, let's say 15 games in, we have 4 wins at the moment. If we are on 7 to 8 in 15, would you say that's good still, or would you say you'd probably expect more than that? And that's just me. If we've got 4 wins at the moment, after 15 games, if we're on 8 or 7, 8, 9 wins out of 15 games, would you say that's good enough for a Leicester side where we're at now? Or would you say, we've lost 1, now we've got another 4 or 5 hard fixtures ahead of us. If we only win 1 or 2 of them, would you say? Again, it's all if buts and maybes. We could be after 15 games. We won 14 and only lost one yesterday. But everyone's gonna have their own opinion, and if we are only 7 or 8 wins out of 15, people are gonna be like, well, it's probably not good enough.
Well, I think I posted something on the group chat yesterday saying that I think we've got a win rate at the minute of 67. Have you got it up, Reedy? 67% or something, or something like that.
Sorry.
The stat I put on Facebook on the group chat yesterday. Basically, the win ratio that we've got at the minute, if we carried on that until the end of the season, we would be top 2 for the last 7 years. You know, the top 2 in the championship for the last 7 years.
Yeah, if we win 4 out of 5 in every 5 games, then yeah, you probably would say we probably go straight back up. But it's if we do win 4 out of 5 every 5 games,
and we don't know. We don't know until later on. You know, so I just think it's about. I just think it's just about patience. When I say, I also got stick yesterday from the other side, Jamie, because I said patience, and then some people were saying, well, no, you know, that we haven't got time. We haven't got time. We do have time. We do have time in the championship. As flipping it on the other way, as Reedy said earlier, yeah, you see teams in the bottom half of the championship early in the season coming up, like Forest that year and Middlesbrough last season, right? And so we do have time. We have a lot of time. Even if we bloody lost 5 games in a row or 6 games in a row, starting from now, we've got time to romp the league to finish 10 points clear at the top of the table still. There's a lot of time in the championship with 46 games. Norwich, best team in...
It goes quick. Like this season, all of a sudden, Christmas is here biting on your arse, and then you get to Easter and it goes quick.
Norwich, best team in the championship so far this season, lost yesterday against Rotherham. So it happens. It really does.
Southampton got spanked 5-0 by Sunderland. Anything can happen in the championship. We know that. And I think what our fan base is forgetting is because it's been such a long time since we've been in this division, because they've got all used to Premier League football, they forgot how hard it actually is. That's what everybody's forgetting. Anybody can beat anybody on the day in the championship.
Just looking at the Burnley first 10 games of the championship last year, in their first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on here, they lost 1. They won 4 and drew 5. So again, championship can be won in any way. We're not going to win 50 games, but like I say, Burnley only lost 3 all games all season last year. Burnley lost 3 games all season, and we've only lost 1.
Yeah, but how many did they lose in the first 10 games? In the first 5 games, really? Exactly. Yeah. So
no, I know, I get that. But it all depends on how we do the rest of the season. Because if we
stop living in the past, Phil.
If we do go on a run where we have lost a couple in the next few games, like Southampton, Leeds, Norwich, then these losses will rack up.
Right. On that note, we're going to call it quits, leaving it on that one, because, like Phil says, 7 years ago we won the Premiership title.
Yes.
Yesterday we lost to Hull. If everyone's happy with that, that's fine by me.
We lost to Hull. We lost to Hull the first
year after. We lost to Hull the year after as well.
Yeah.
It's the first time it's ever been done.
Phil sounds like a Forest fan right there. He sounds like a Forest
He does sound like a Forest. It'd be like next. 30 years ago, Blackburn won the Premier League.
You're in the shit you are there, mate. All right, we'll see you next week, pal.
Oh.
See you later, mate. Locks, I think you better go and get your resignation matter sorted after that. We'll speak to you later. See you later, mate.
Catch you.
I think I'll take that comment off now, but it's true. 7 years ago, we were championship. We won the Premiership, Champions League quarter-finalist 5 times, twice finished 5th place, FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners, Europa League, conference semi-finalist, and people seem to be happy losing against Hull. If that's the way it is, I'm in a totally different minority then. If everyone's happy, then that's fine by me. I'll go with the majority, but there you go, Reedy.
It is what it is, mate. We hopefully move on and get a win against Southampton away, don't we?
Yeah, we hopefully will do. Are you going?
Unfortunately, yes, on Friday night. Can't wait.
Well then, Reedy, we'll speak to you later, Pete.
See you in a bit.
See you later. Cheers all. Thanks for watching me waffle on. A bit tired today. That's probably why I haven't really said a lot today, which is probably why I've left it to the lads and not getting my words out very well. So it's been a privilege and much appreciated you watching me all these years. And I love every comment that comes on. So cheers all. Thanks a lot. Ciao, ciao. Adios. Goodbye. Arrivederci. Come on, you foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.